I? Or come to consulting and need a coach? My God, that's such a great question. And the reason why is it's such a great question is because the term is used so interchangeably, right? Somebody says, well, I'm a consultant. Okay, well, what do you do? Well, I'm a coach. Well, what do you do? Here's a simple definition that I really like. A consultant is brought in to solve a particular problem. They provide a statement of work where there's a beginning, middle, and end, and there's an outcome at the very end of that. So, for example, you have a problem with inventory in your factory. The consultant comes in and determines the problem is a broken machine or a bad system or something, and recommends that the machine or the system be replaced or changed or whatever, right? You've got a particular problem with your HR information system. You've grown, you need a little bit better technology to manage your people. Well, the consultant comes in and says, this is the system you should get, and this is kind of what it is, and here's the alternatives, and this is how you implement. That's a consulting project. There's a problem, okay, and the consultant comes in, and there's a beginning, middle, and end, and the very end, the consultant goes away, and hopefully, your team is skilled up to sort of carry on what it is that consulting is doing. They now know how to use that HRIS system. They now know in the factory how to deal with that inventory problem, because the new system is in place, etc. So that's consulting. And for me, I'm a certified management consultant, a fellow. I've got some recognition in that space, and that's a very defined kind of thing. Okay. Coaching, on the other hand, is very different. Coaching is an ongoing relationship where the goal is to fill in the blanks, at least for my kind of coaching, filling in the blanks of the leader's knowledge base and experience base to provide the outsourced brain cells when there's particular issues, so that the organization as a whole can get to that next level. And what you might talk about in any particular coaching session might be very different, or it might be a part one, part two, part three, but it's an ongoing relationship. And there's a beginning, you're always in the middle. And I'll also say this, there's also an end. But the end is very different than that for consultants. Consultants, there's a beginning, middle, and end. The problem has been solved. Okay, but if you're looking to grow an organization, to continually improve your margins and continually improve your client experience, continually improve your impact in whatever it is, there isn't particularly an end there. But there is an end to where that particular coach can actually help. Let me give you an example. So let's just say you hire a coach who's helped businesses and has got experience themselves in growing a business from 0 to 1 million. Well, let's just say you're at 0 and that consultant helps you along to $1 million. Well, that consultant may be clever, they might be smart, but do they have the experience and knowledge to get you from 1 million to 2 million? Okay, let's do something a little bit more realistic. You're at $5 or $10 million business, and you're looking to double that. Okay, and the consultant that you've got has got some experience doing that. Well, thank you very much. Once you get to that, say 20 million, is that coach's experience used up? Okay, or is there still a little bit more that they can help you with? At a certain point, the coach's knowledge base ends, right? And you probably should get a different coach, right? In my particular case, I've sat on corporate boards. I've sort of done the whole spectrum. Okay, but at a certain point, I will say to a client, I think our time is nearing the end, and here's why. And the client may say, well, no, I still want you because of such and such. But that conversation actually happens at a certain point in time, or it should happen at a certain point in time, for every coach-client relationship, right? You've got to deliver value, and as a coach, you have to receive that value as a client. If there's no change, then there's a bit of a challenge. So that's the significant difference between a coach and a consultant. Now, let me throw another term in the mix. Advisor. What the heck's an advisor? Well, an advisor could be a consultant, or they could be a coach. And it's very interesting because some of my clients will say, well, Randall, you're my business coach. And that's fine. So I say, not a problem. I'm your business coach. Some other clients don't like the term coach. They say, well, you're my advisor. I don't like coach. So I said, well, why? I don't have a problem. I like the term advisor. Um, well, there's a lot of coaches who are life coaches or fitness coaches or some other type of coach which may have value in those particular areas, but I see what you're doing as something quite different. So I prefer just to use the word advisor. It's got more cachet. Not a problem. I'm an advisor, right? So it really depends. So when somebody positions themselves or you're considering getting some of the help, it's best to sort of ask more of these questions to understand, well, what the heck is somebody actually providing? Because if you just say, this is what I need, it's too easy, I think, sometimes for service providers, I'll use that term, to say, well, I do that. Okay, how many people have you done it for? How many years have you been doing it for? What kind of certifications do you have? Well, have you actually done this yourself? Well, at what scale have you done it yourself? There's a whole bunch of these due diligence questions. So if you get them to ask, if you're able to ask, well, tell me what you do, okay, it gives you a better sense as to, well, are they a coach that does a pure accountability? In which case, absolutely, they should have credentials from places like the ICF. Are they ones who work on these um, psychological testing and various assessments, colors, Myers-Briggs, etc. In which case, they should be certified in that. Okay, or they focus more on growth coaching and helping in that area. In which case, you can look at their credentials as well. Okay, so it really depends, but you should be asking what they do before you say this is what I need. That way, you'll get the unvarnished what they do, and you'll understand because it may very well be that you need precisely what they want, but ask first, and then you can share.